Archaeologists spend their professional lives digging up old civilizations so that we can all learn about our history. The ruins they dig up end up underground when the cities or dwellings collapse upon themselves under the weight of shifting sands, the mud or the self-destruction of the buildings, or vegetation that overgrows them. So archaeologists look for mounds in the earth where they think the cities are, and then carefully expose the ruins from the past in an effort to understand who we were and where we came from. Now, archaeologists have discovered to date that every settlement they uncover had a place set aside for worship. They knew this by the artifacts, by the stones, by the benches, and by the placement of an altar that all indicate that the inhabitants of every known civilization believed in a higher power. Now, Bishop Sharon Brown Christopher used these facts to say that she believed all human beings have an innate hunger and thirst for God. I tend to agree with Bishop Christopher because every human being I have met, whether they are Buddhist, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, atheist, they all hunger for something or someone to believe in. Now, some are willing to admit they have a hunger or thirst for God. Some even try to deny that there is a greater power. But I've discovered that the more someone denies their need for God, the hungrier and the thirstier they are for something greater than themselves to believe in. Jesus and his followers were on their way home from Judea to Galilee, from the southeast portion of Israel to the northwest. And as they traveled north, they had to walk through the region of Samaria. While traveling, Jesus stopped outside of a town called Sychar. A patriarch of the Jewish faith, Jacob, had stopped there a long time ago to dig a well. Jesus stopped by the well, and there he met a Samaritan woman and asked her for a drink. Anyone hearing that in the first century would immediately have gasped in surprise and disgust, because Jewish men were not allowed to talk to women in public other than their own wives. Jews never willingly talked to a Samaritan, and no self-respecting Samaritan, male or female, would have shared water from the sacred well of Jacob with a Jew. Even if they were dying of thirst, they would have refused, because Jews and Samaritans hated each other just that much. Well, this particular woman had what is politely called a past. Bless you. She had been married to 5 different husbands and was currently living with a man who was not her husband. Jesus knew that and just didn't care. Jesus saw a woman who was alone at a well in the middle of the day, which meant she wouldn't go to the well with the other women at the beginning of the day because she was shunned by them. She was an outcast in their village. She avoided contact with other people. She had no friends, male or female. She was hurt, alone, and I suspect after 5 divorces, she was emotionally vulnerable. She was doing her best to get from one day to the next. Jesus knew this woman was thirsty for God. Jesus knew she had looked for God in all the wrong places. And Jesus knew that this woman was ready to receive the water that only he could provide. I suspect a few of us, well, maybe more than a few of us, know what it looks like and feels like to look for God in all the wrong places. We have spent, or maybe we currently are spending, time, energy, and dollars looking for that something or that someone that will quench our thirst, fill our emptiness with love, ideas, and hope for the future. Too many of us spend too much of our lives chasing after an elusive dream where stuff, or people, or food, or drink will meet all of our needs. And when we find that latest something, we soon discover that it didn't do the job either. And we never find what it is that we're looking for. And finally, when all the chasing is done, we are left tired, discouraged, hungry and thirsty, and wondering what in the world we did wrong.